Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about why mixing just isn't that important. Now I want to preface this video by first saying if mixing is your passion or your love, or if you want to do it for a career, then of course, mixing is important. But for most of you, and I assume it's most of you, just want to create music, beats, a vibe, a mood track, or anything that inspires you. And for you creative people, you just want to create great music, or tracks, or whatever. And for you, mixing just isn't that important in the entire process. Let me give you an example. I always say that mastering isn't very important. As a mixer, as someone hired to do a mix, my goal is to make the mastering engineer unimportant. So when they get my mix, they listen to it and don't really change all that much. At least that's the goal. So I think it's the same for mixing. If you start off with a great song, a track, a great arrangement, and great performances, then the mix isn't that important. It'll usually mix itself. If I'm handed a great song with a great arrangement and great performances, and all the instruments are recorded really well, it tends to mix itself. And if someone hands me something without those things, no matter how much time I spend on the mix, it never comes out that great. Because the most important part of a song or a production is what happens before the mix. The recording, the writing of the song, the arrangement, and performances of that song. Once it gets to the mixer, at that point, it's too late. Either you got it right or you didn't. So the reason I mention that is a lot of times on forums, I see people talking about mixing and mixing techniques, and it seems like a waste of effort. It's important to know how to use compression and EQ and some basic reverb and delays, but you really don't want to spend too much time on those things. They're just technical. They're not creative. The creative part is writing and producing your track. So you really want to focus on those things most of all. The writing, arrangement, production, recording, and performance of your song, or tracks, or mood, or vibe, or beats, or whatever. What you're putting down to tape, or in most situations, your computer. What you record is more important than how you record it, or in this case, how you mix it. Mixing is still important. It's that last 4 or 5% of the process, but it really takes a long time to learn how to mix. So in most situations, you want to get it right before you send it off to the mixer, or before you spend too much time mixing your song. I know a lot of people write and produce a song in a short period, and then spend days trying to mix it. It's not the most important part of the process. You need to get the songwriting, production, and arrangement right, and then the song will mostly mix itself. So that's pretty much it. That's why mixing just isn't that important. I hope you learned something, hope you could use it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.